What's going on, guys? This is Zelda Q and welcome to my brand new career mode on FIFA 17. This is going to be a Portsmouth career mode. I did make one or two episodes a couple of months ago or weeks ago, whenever it was, but I discontinued the series. It wasn't going as I planned. But I thought what I'll do is I'll bring it back and I'll completely do it in a different way, and hopefully it'll get a bit more support than last time. To be honest, last time it didn't do too bad actually last time, but I wanted something to run alongside the Swans one, and as we're doing really well in the Swans one, by the way, that episode should come out tomorrow, the Swansea City career mode. I know that's what a lot of you guys are after, and the first game of the season should be on tomorrow's episode in Swans. But I'm going to stop talking about the Swans career mode. Like I said, the episode will be out tomorrow and you guys will be able to see that. I've started recording. It's a lot of fun already as Premier League champions. But onto this one, as I bang the table. This is a Portsmouth series. Basically, the aim is going to be just to get into the Premier League. As you can see here, I'm going down the squad, doing a bit of a squad report, see what players I can sell and what players I need to bring in. To be honest, I'm not going to lie, this episode is very, very hectic. Like it popped up earlier, the first bit of gameplay is at 16 minutes and 41 seconds. That's just because it's pre-season and I just wanted to get signing after signing after signing. I'm going to let you in for a bit of a spoiler. Actually, I won't. I won't let you in for a spoiler. You guys will see. This episode is hectic, I will say that. A lot happens and there's going to be all sorts of signings and stuff happening in the background. I'm just going to babble on, talk over it, but I do want to talk about some points. Let me get my trusty old notepad here. Firstly, I want to say, if any new viewers are in here, welcome. This is the first episode of the Portsmouth career mode. It's with a new update in, so the likes of Joe Roden are on the game. He's got his game face in, someone I'm really after. There's a couple of Swans youth players that I'm after in this career mode. Like I was saying, the Swansea City career mode will be out tomorrow. It's a bit of a shame that I don't get some of the new players that are added in, because the likes of Joe Roden added in, Ryan Blair, and I think Daniel James's game face has been put in here. Unfortunately, they don't actually update onto current saves, so but that's okay. We've got some good players coming into the squad now. But another thing I do want to ask is, do you guys want to see me live commentating over these episodes? Because with the Swans ones, I'm going to keep it how I used to edit it. This series is going to be edited a lot differently. The games are going to be quicker. I'm going to try and squeeze 3 or 4 games into an episode, because the seasons are longer on here. There's going to be a lot more games played. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to try and squeeze 3 or 4 games into one episode, so the games are going to be edited to a lot less highlights. But another thing that I was going to touch on a tiny bit is I kind of want to do face cam with some of these videos, but I'm going to be doing face cam once I hit 1k subs. It's quite a way off, but I thought, you know, I may as well make it worthwhile. And if I do hit 1k subs, hopefully in the near future, then I'm going to be doing all sorts of real life football videos, crossbar challenges, stuff like that. I've got a nice little spot by where I live where I can do all them things, so yeah, it's good stuff to look forward to in the future. But as you can see here, getting into the first first pre-season game against Stabæk, we win that 4-0 easy game. To be honest, these pre-season tournaments when you're in lower league teams are really important. I think our starting budget was around 2 million, and this pre-season tournament was to get another 2 million, so 4 million to spend in the transfer window. Like I said, they are quite important. I do want to say one thing as well. I didn't ask for much suggestions in the first season as Portsmouth career mode, just because I knew the players that I wanted to go out and get. But one thing I will say is that the Swans career mode I'm trying to keep as realistic as possible. But this one I can get a bit crazy, you know, try and sign some high-end players. I obviously don't in the first season because the funds just aren't there for me. But one thing I am trying to do is trying to sign a load of players with game faces. If you guys don't know what game face is, I go on about this all the time. But it's basically just when a player has had their face scanned, so in the game they just look a lot better in my opinion. But I think I'm probably one of the only people that do that. And I know actually when I mentioned it in the Swans career mode not so long ago that a lot of people said they were with me and they do the exact same, only try and sign players that have their face in the game. So that's fun to see. But yeah, I've got to somehow try and find a way to talk on about this career mode for 16 minutes. Well, I say I'm 5 minutes in, so I've done pretty well up until this point. 11 minutes left. But as you can see in the background, I did try and squeeze all this into the first episode just to get it all out the way so that I don't have to show any more of this. As you can see, I'm doing all of these signings before the first couple of games. Swans accepted our bid for Joe Roden there. As you can see, we're playing Mouscron away from home. Well, they're not away, they're all away from home because they're in a tournament, but we win that one as well, so we're looking good. As you can see, Oxlade-Chamberlain, don't know if he's any relation to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, but he goes out on loan. And as you can see here in the background, I was just bidding for a load of different players that I wouldn't mind in the team. Portsmouth have 5 strikers, I think, or 4 strikers, and I was going to try and sell 1 or 2 of them on, until I realised they're literally, apart from Connor Chaplin, I believe his name is, they're all recently signed, but I don't really want to sell Chaplin because he's 19 years old, he's 65 rated, he's got a good potential apparently as well, so I'm going to try and loan him out for a couple of seasons, and then when he comes back to us I'll probably sell him on. Another thing I do want to apologise for, whereas in the Swansea career mode I try to keep it really authentic, you know, try and keep the big Swansea names, Angel Rangel, Leon Britton, Nathan Dyer, players that have been there for a while. In this one, I am sorry to say, I'm going to try and get rid of as much of these Portsmouth players as possible. I don't know whether any Portsmouth fans will be watching this, and hopefully, if you are, you won't be too mad with me selling some of the players that have been there. Because I know, like Gary Roberts, I think his name has been there for a while, and Evans, the right back, they've both been there for quite a while. But I think this is our first signing of the season. Joe Roden, really looking forward to him. 18 years old and a really good potential on him. Tom Hopper was a player that I didn't know whether I wanted to sign or not. I think pretty much if I was going to sign him, then I wasn't going to sign Dominic Telford from Stoke, but I've actually watched Dominic Telford play live in against Swans under 21s, and he looks a really, really good player, and he's just got his game face put into the game, so I thought I may as well try and sign him for this career mode, and hopefully we'll get a nice young team. I did go after some experienced players. I think Jos Højveld was one of them that I went after. Parkhurst, the American. I think there was a couple of French players in there like Cheyrou. I didn't want to make it a team full of 19-year-olds, but I thought if I get a mixture of experience and youth, it'll be a good mix. So yeah, let me chuck my notepad aside. I don't need that anymore. But as you can see here, Luke Daniels, another player we signed from Scunthorpe, and Tom Hopper. I think we actually signed 3 players from Scunthorpe. I'm not sure how true that is, but as you can see here, Jamie Ness. No, that's right. I signed Luke Daniels and Jamie Ness from Scunthorpe, and then Hopper was another player from Scunthorpe that I was about to sign. Decided against it, and as you can see here, this is the signing I'm most excited for. Daniel James, a really, really promising youngster from Swans, and he actually has a really, really good first game for us. Not giving anything away, but like I said, first game at 16 minutes 41. If you want to stop listening to me talk, then I'd extremely recommend you fast forward into that point, but if you want to see all the signings that we make, stick around. I do give a brief summary of it a bit later on, I think, but as you can see here, I just inquired about so many players. Basically, without sugarcoating it, I wanted a whole new 11 players to start, like a whole new starting 11. That's what I wanted. As you can see here, Macoun, who used to play for Aston Villa, we inquired about him. Joe Ward, who I actually signed in the Portsmouth career mode that I did a couple of months ago. I signed him for it as well, and a nice bit of money there from the tournament. Like I said, when you're these lower league teams, they are actually really handy, because it just gives you more funds to work with. You can sign more players, you can sign better players. As you can see, there's right back from Spurs here, Kyle Walker-Peters, which is quite funny actually, because the starting right back for Spurs is Kyle Walker-Peters. As you can see, Jos Højveld, I think he used to play for Southampton. He's got his game face in the game, so I thought I'll go after him. 33 years old. To be honest, that's a player that we need, in my opinion. A nice old centre half that's got a lot of experience, and just surround him with youngsters. There are a couple more experienced players, because our keeper, Luke Daniels, I think he's 28 years old. I signed Dean Moxey from Bolton. I don't know whether that showed up yet, so that's a spoiler alert. But as you can see, this Irish guy from West Brom, Zachary, and don't worry about the last name, I won't try and pronounce that. As you can see here, we're actually selling Ender Stevens, who I think he used to play for Aston Villa as well. Trying to get rid of him for Dean Moxey, and that, like I spoiled earlier, that deal does actually go through, and we actually lose there, get knocked out of the tournament against a team we drew to. I think the other fixture that we played them in was 1-1 as well. but that was in the group stages, so no need for penalties. That one went to penalties and we got knocked out, but still, it's not too disheartening because we still get a decent amount of money from that anyway. So as you can see here, our inbox is just filled up with deals from loads of different players, and as you can see, I did actually reject the Tom Hopper one. I think his name's Tom Hopper, but the Hopper striker, I decided to reject him and go with Dominic Telford instead, just because I think he was a bit cheaper on wages. He's also a couple of years younger, so yeah. But moving a bit later on into the episode, I probably should have found a way to sum all this up, but I thought you guys might just want to see the raw footage of all the deals that were happening. Like I said earlier, it is very hectic and there's a lot of stuff going on, but I feel like it's worth showing, seeing all the players go, seeing all the players come in. It is a long video to watch, but you know, obviously I think it goes without saying that as the series will go on a little bit into the episodes, then I won't need to show all of this. I've made all my transfers. I think to date now, as much as I'd want to ask you guys to recommend me some signings, I think to date now, I've actually done with all the signings. I've pretty much got no money left. I've made the signings that I want to make, but I think at the same time I could always try and sell some players to bring in players. But yeah, I'm also, because I know I know a lot of the people that are watching me are massive Swansea fans, as well as myself. So in this series, I think one of my main aims is going to try and be to try and bring in a lot of Swans youngsters, a lot of Swans players. I think after a season or two, I'm going to try and sign Leon Britton to have in the team before he decides to retire, and try and have him in the team for a couple of seasons. That's someone I was thinking of. Also players like Michu, when I go up a division, if I go up a division that is, hopefully try and sign Michu because he'll be a low rated, he might want to come to me. He might not, who knows, but and just players like, you know, Scott Sinclair may want to come, Jonathan de Guzman. Obviously them two are a bit higher rated and a little bit out of reach, but the likes of Leon Britton, Swans have got a lot of good centre midfielders in the team, like Key, Jack Hawke are all higher rated than Leon Britton. He'll probably be out of the first team, he'll be going down in ratings, and he'll be getting on a bit in age, so you know, he might be a good signing for us. He might be a realistic one, but yeah, as you can see in the background, we're just trying to get rid of some players. The transfer offer there was a loan offer for Ben Close, I think, is a 19-year-old centre midfielder. I didn't want to accept it just yet because I didn't know how many players I was actually going to get, as you can see, but I think I offered Joe Ward the contract here, and spoiler, he does accept it, and then I think we actually decide to let Ben Close go out on loan, try and get a bit of experience and a bit of and hopefully boost his ratings, and then I'll probably sell him on next season or whenever he comes back. Don't think we accepted him still there, but Dean Moxey actually accepted his contract. As you can see, Michael Parkes, we decided to not pursue that transfer. He signed Dean Moxey, who was actually a decent player. I'm not sure where he would have got his game face scanned. I think it's probably Crystal Palace we used to play for, but now playing at Bolton, it's a decent signing for us. He's a high rated, he's experienced, so we've got two experienced centre halves there, which is decent. Parfit Williams here, who I'm actually really interested in signing. The 17-year-old can play right wing, striker and maybe left wing, but I know he can definitely play right wing and striker, so a bit of an all-rounder. He's a bit small, which is the only problem, so I probably wouldn't be playing him striker too much this season, but he's a fantastic talent, 17 years old as well, so you can't go wrong with that. And as you can see, a lot of the older players are rejecting my contracts, and it's so frustrating. To be fair, it's hard, because I think I signed the right type of players. I signed a lot of youngsters, and I put a couple of experienced players in there, here and there. But it's going to be tough next season if I do get a bit more funds to play with, because even when you want to go for like a higher calibre of players, like Kevin Long earlier, the Burnley centre-half, I don't think he plays at all for Burnley, but you try and sign him, he's like, nah, I'm used to playing in more prestigious leagues. It's like, come on, that's not like, I know League 2 is a bit of a drop down, but like in real life, if you said like, oh, look at the players I've signed on my team, we'll get promoted straight away, come and join, and it's like, okay, yeah, I will, but I probably should. One thing I kind of regret about not doing now, I've probably still got enough wages to be able to do it actually, but I probably could have loaned a few players in as well. I didn't actually have a look to see who was on the loan list for some of the big clubs, but I think next episode, that's something I may try. I may try and go and have a look out at the players that are listed for loan, and then try and get a couple of them in, because some of them will have decent players. But as you can see, we're actually finalising the last couple of deals of the season. Jos Højveld still being a little bit annoying to deal with, let's say. But if you guys get that I love living here, I don't want to move location, that reject email, I think, and I'm not too sure because there may be some people in the comments that know a little bit more, but I think the best way to get around that is increase their wage by about 50%. So say they want $5,000 a week. If you put it up like 50% to like $7,500 a week, and then up the bonus to 20%, and then give them first team player, I think they come. I think that's usually what it is. Some players it's worth doing it for, like Jos Højveld there, in my opinion, was worth paying a couple of extra grand a week to come. But I think like Kevin Long, the centre half, wanted it, and I decided that he probably wasn't worth it. He's not experienced enough. But as you can see here, we actually accept the signing of Jos Højveld. I've said his name about 1,000 times. I may have butchered it about 1,000 times, but as you can see, Reece Greenwood here looks a promising player. This is the starting team. If you want to pause it, please pause it, go back and pause it. That's the starting team that we're going to be using throughout the season, mostly. And after I signed a lot of them players, I looked back in the squad and said, right, what players can go? And I looked at Adam Mayer, 51 rated, the left back Honstrup that I just put out for loan. And as you can see here, we actually had all them contracts accepted, but I didn't have the wages to sign them. But yeah, here's how the team is going to line up for the first game of the season, actually against Newport, a Welsh team, a South Wales team, at Fratton Park. This is the reason I chose Portsmouth, by the way, because they've got Fratton Park in the game, and that stadium brings back a lot of memories. But first chance of the game actually goes to, I was going to say Norwich then, but Newport. A decent attempt there, but goes over the bar. A bit later on into the game, as you can see here, Roberts, who is the quote-unquote star man for our team. I didn't put him on the transfer list just because I didn't know whether you guys would want to see me keep him, because he's a Portsmouth legend, I think. But he's worth about 750k, so I could sell him, bring in another player. But Daniel James had a good chance there early on. He's actually going to get another chance here as the ball comes into him. Nice bit of skill inside, comes in, puts it onto his left foot, and it's a lovely finish to go 1-0 up, and a debut goal for Daniel James. As you can see, the game face there. Like I was saying earlier, he was the signing that I was most happy with. That's the player that I really wanted to get into this team from the start. And we also got Joe Roden from Swans there, so it's nice to have a couple of young Welsh boys in there to do some work. But as you can see here, this was a decent chance as well as the ball comes to O'Neill. Decent attempt, and that's actually a really, really solid save. But another chance here for Newport. Again, I was going to say Norwich, but it's an easy save for Luke Daniels, the keeper. And that's how the game's going to end. 1-0, first game of the season. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I know the gameplay was short, but next episode, hopefully I'll have 3 or 4 games left to play. Thank you all for watching, and peace.